A statement from Stephen Pedling. It's reasonable that the universe we see is essentially a touch of a larger multiverse. In this bigger universe, there could be many copies of us living in unique universes. The James Webb Telescope has now found the basic, genuine evidence for the mirror universe. Enormous structures that appear more genius than the universe earnestly come from a counter-existence wherein the real powers resemble our own. What is happening at this component? Might it at any point be said that we are currently coming into hard-to-grasp variables of the multiverse? Evidently, also, what should we track down there? The responses to this inquiry are expanding us to the edges of conventionality, looking at our acknowledgement and potentially catapulting us into a new reality. This could just mean more catastrophe for science. To the extent that we may be concerned, everything is completely remarkable. Scientists have at long last found the genuine justification for the unlikely universes. Be that as it may, could we start at the beginning of the story? It changed into the past due summer of 2022 when NASA happily set the main depictions free from the new James Webb Space Telescope. For lay individuals, the significance photo showed some awesome and uncommon characteristics of light and stars. Regardless, specialists expeditiously saw a very great bundle of staggeringly classic vast structures. More youthful, inestimable frameworks should be seen superbly in the front-facing region. The more star ones appear to be orange to rosy, and their light is diffused to darkened with the undi. We can see resulting to no here, isolated from a several charming range influences. Be that as it may, the Webb telescope can harm down even the most diminutive area of light. Comprehensively, it may be challenging to simply acknowledge. Yet, James Webb can illuminate from those darkened spots of light when the light transformed into delivered, in which it came from, which stars released it, how giant the contraption transformed into, and what parts were predominantly in it. Inquisitively, experts as of now have all-out assessments of phenomenally rare grandiose designs in their hold. The development of the new telescope is genuinely saucy, and due to infrared development, James Webb can record a lot preferable light traces over Hubble, and on this way, appearance impressively in expansion the hour of presently not set in stone by utilizing the purple shift of gentle. At the off danger that light goes through space from here on endlessly, apparently all the time, the downpour shifts from light yellow to white to purple and orange. The assessments of the time of those enormous frameworks came as a shock. One of the essential assert structures on this picture showed a purple shift of Z equivalent 13, and that suggests it's far 13.5 billion years old. For what cause do we see the previous? We need to come to the essential thrill ride of this story. On the variable when we examine region, we generally see the past. It is crazy, but totally it's legitimate. Surely, even the light from the closest star, Alpha Centauri, requires 4.3 light a long time to contact us. Assuming we take a gander at the superstar on this planet through a telescope, we see the gentle that builds a commotion around city or the conviction reflected picture of the telescope. Therefore, we see gentle that has gone 4.3 years to contact us, and this is where we see the spot of gentle above plainly the big name Alpha Centauri, or as an option the twofold celebrity system has proactively journeyed likewise and is situated at something different totally in the universe. At the off peril that James Webb captures faint beats of gentle that have been going for 13.5 billion years, we consider the infinite contraption there to be. It turned into a fantastic 13.5, a surprisingly long time returned. The significance picture is, therefore, now not just a view into the profundities of the universe but in expansion into the past. This can be an obstruction for the explanation that we will typically sensibly be not ready to see the universe on the Earth as it's far presently. We would need to move out into regions to dock stars there as of now. The potential gain of that will be that we can sort out what occurred in the past of the universe just through seeing the gentle. Assuming the great size explosion truly came around 13.8 quite a while ago, we ought to basically have the choice to see the APO from which the headlight different into Mama on the grounds that the principal stars in addition. Here comes the issue. The essential stars aren't obligated to have existed until somewhere around 500 million years after the upside size explosion. In spite of the way that the machine glass C13 already existed 300 million years after the broad explosion. And this is of the universe. Now, not a single big star, as demonstrated by James Webb's assessment facts. Glass C13 is an especially advanced moment vast device. This contraption has taken somewhere cycle 1 to 5 billion years to reach at the aspects and brilliance that we see today. Yet, that can't be the situation, since that would mean that this universe recently existed before the broad explosion. Might we at any point say we are completely looking in a, as you might imagine, the specialists are presently certainly prepared to battle? How might this kind of worldwide be seemed okay of? What's more, Glass C13 isn't just a single. Immediately, a short time later, the presence of an additional one device with a significantly better Z-regard becomes certified. Macy's inestimable machine recently existed 200 million years after the tremendous explosion and is further to shape a world as Glass C13. One more significant find even had a Z definitely worth of more than 28. Assuming the assessments might be attested, F200DBZ 0.5 could be one of the earliest and generally a long way off acknowledged frameworks at any point noticed. These three are most successful, a contribution of numerous gadget rivalry which is at this point anticipating assertion. These discoveries are called candidates for the explanation that they should be rationally relegated as universes once unique independent test bunches have certified the assessments. The essential universes progressed, particularly in contrast with we idea. John Mom, the test boss and significant father of the James Webb Telescope, are positive in a gathering. These disclosures as of now not a tiny smidgen confirm that they're changed into no sizable explosion, but most straightforward show that stars and universes were framed abundantly quicker than these days anticipated. One-of-a-kind style physical-mechanical expertise shows the individual appropriate simultaneously as current characters not the slightest bit again have trust in the huge blast. Several scientists are convinced that these grandiose frameworks are the death of our antique texture mechanical expertise. So who is on the legitimate music? We need to investigate what explanations conventional texture mechanical expertise have prepared over the most extreme recent 2 years for these inconceivable universes. Researcher from Canada brought an outline, as shown by means of which the universe will be bounty extra connected. He puts the broad explosion at a time of 26.7 quite a while ago, but it can likewise be 40 billion years or more noteworthy. The assessments relied upon modified Newtonian real innovative expertise and the hypothesis of light fatigue by Swiss researcher Fritz Wicki. Another explanation is that there were starbursts inside the more youthful universe, or on the other hand, as an option, certified impacts of big names starting where a previously thick locale of the universe gives a strangely gigantic scope of stars in a truly short period of time. But this legitimation should be applied somewhat, considering the reality that it is at this point not conceivable with the huge scope plans of the universe. The English master Roger Penrose proposed the dull universe back in 2015, as in sync with which our universe emerged directly from an outsider universe, and a few objects or critical plans of the old universe might have been put away. This can now in shape on the grounds that Penrose's thought can really make an experience of why there are structures that were exceptionally old early. This large number of hypotheses has a normal inadequacy. They can, to some amount, make an insight of the new disclosures, but not completely. The most recent significance picture, some other shock about a year after the main picture became taken, the Webb telescope took some other significance picture. The analysts respected energetically into a truly specific corner of the universe. Might a substitute picture at some point be uncovered there? No, unfortunately, now not. Or on the other hand, maybe luckily not. The accompanying photograph affirmed the disclosures of the main significance picture. The new picture moreover showed segments of universes that are classic to the point that they shouldn't exist, as shown with the guide of the past standards of material innovation. What's more, this image in like manner revealed a previously unidentified creation that misrepresents taken cowl at the rear of the Pandora worldwide pack, and concerning its size and components, couldn't truly have existed in young space. The gentle physicists are consistently walking around of explanations, and the degree is being cleared for absolutely new theories in innovation. We have the avowed truth that our substantial innovative ability of the smallest particles isn't yet plausible with the substantial innovative expertise of the regular idiosyncrasies inside the universe. Quantum real mechanical ability and space science can't be portrayed utilizing standardized recipes. The key hypothesis that approaches is string theory, which drives clearly to the multiverse, which customary physicists are at this point battling through. However, it is as of now evident to many Here we have the proof for the multiverse and for an imitate universe. Assuming to be the universe of the littlest particles is just conceivable with colossal parts like stars and designs. Assuming we take conveyance of a more noteworthy number of elements than the 4 recognized parts of reality, then there should be explicit universes that we have now not yet had the decision to peer. Research. A few scientists are of the evaluation that not having the decision to see is really phony via any means. They say that we experience those perspectives any area. Innovation stories, unsolvable inconveniences like now with the incredible structures. We need to look at the proof that we are not taking a gander at the more youthful universe after the enormous blast, yet at the breaking point to the mirror universe. Could we get that our universe exists like part of an hourglass? The reproduce universe is then the contrary part of great importance glass. Someplace there's an exchange or confine where the 2 universes meet. Furthermore, presently in a complex universe, this isn't really only one spot. These advances can be in certain spots. Furthermore, in certain occurrences. Assuming we take a gander at the significance picture, we can imagine that we think returned in time into the hourglass. And poof, we ought to truly leaf through the captivated telescope of James net to the inverse side. One universe that is explicitly appointed to help this theory is the Bellringer enormous machine or consumes 17499. Further to the way that this worldwide emits an impact of being particularly old. It moreover offers various assessments of its place. Stargazers on this way tranquilly insinuated the physical innovative skill as Bellringer grandiose machine. Bellringer Pussycat is a psychological investigate quantum texture mechanical ability, which essentially communicates that not anything on this worldwide has a portrayed real design till it's arranged or seen. Past this assessment, everything exists in a sort of suspended country wherein the structure blocks of issue can exist as dubious waves or organizations in some conditions. On the equivalent time, an expense gadget that shows unequivocally this impact might be determined unequivocally at the mirror line. And at that exchange starting from one universe then onto the following. However, that isn't what the Bellringer assessment says. Widely more prominent in its continuation, every likely end consequence of the preliminary makes its own worldwide. Also, that could genuinely mean that there are interminable universes, and that you and I exist in those universes simultaneously. Likewise, we don't forget about any of it. Press the buy and button presently. There are loads more prominent video abilities to come in this immense and confounding scene of infinite investigation. The limits of our understanding are consistently pushed. The disclosures delivered by the James Webb Telescope and other logical attempts have not just tested our existing hypotheses, yet, in addition, opened the entryway to altogether new domains of probability. As we wrestle with the ramifications of these disclosures, one thing turns out to be progressively clear. Our current comprehension of the universe is, however, a small portion of the bigger reality that might exist past our discernment. The thought of a multiverse with its bunch of universes existing close by our own compels us to re-examine our position in the universe. However, with this recently discovered information comes a large group of inquiries and vulnerabilities. Are we really seeing into substitute real factors? Or are there different clarifications yet to be revealed? The excursion of logical request is far from over, and every disclosure, as it were, effectively develops the secret of our presence. As scientists proceed to disentangle the mysteries of the universe, we are confronted with the overwhelming assignment of rethinking how we might interpret reality. The ramifications of these revelations stretch a long ways past the domain of science, addressing the actual pith of what it means to exist in this immense and wonder-moving universe. Despite such significant uncertainty, one thing remains steady: the human soul of investigation and revelation. With each new piece of proof and each unanswered inquiry, we are helped to remember the limitless capability of the human brain to understand the unfathomable, and to reveal the secret bits of insight that lie just past the span of our seeing. So as we stand on the slope of revelation, let us embrace the unexplored world with fortitude. And that's what interest knowing the excursion of investigation is so a lot about. The inquiry questions we pose, as it is about the responses we find. And maybe in our quest for information, we will reveal not just the insider facts of the universe, Yet, in addition, the mysteries of our own presence and the tremendous field of astronomical investigation. The James Webb Telescope remains as a signal of humankind's mission to comprehend the secrets of the universe. Its disclosures have tested our current ideal models, driving us to question the actual texture of reality. The idea of a multiverse with its endless universes coinciding close by our own powers us to re-examine our place in the universe and examine the immensity of what lies past our discernment. Yet, with each new revelation comes a bunch of inquiries and vulnerabilities, pushing the limits of our seeing at any point further. As researchers dive further into the unexplored world, we are confronted with the overwhelming errand of rethinking how we might interpret presence itself. Yet, in the midst of the vulnerability, there is likewise a feeling of marvel and energy, as we set out on a journey of investigation that vows to uncover not just the insider facts of the universe, yet, additionally, the secret bits of knowledge of our own reality. Thus, with each step forward, we are helped to remember the unfathomable capability of the human brain, and the getting-through soul of interest that drives us to look for replies to the most significant inquiries within recent memory. Might we at some point be looking into a mirror? Scientists are presently wrestling with how to figure out such a situation. Besides, glass C13 isn't alone. Soon after, the presence of one more substance with a higher ZeV esteem was affirmed. Massey's infinite machine, which arose 200 million years post the enormous blast, looks like a world like glass C13. Another disclosure had a ZeV esteem surpassing 20, showing a profoundly redshifted universe, perhaps one of the earliest and most far-off frameworks of all time found. These are only a couple of quite a large number anticipating affirmation, named applicants, until other autonomous exploration gatherings approve the estimations. The revelations challenge our past understanding. John Mother, the venture lead of the James Webb Telescope, remains hopeful. He attests that these discoveries don't invalidate the enormous blast. However, represent that stars and systems shaped a lot quicker than beforehand thought.